Hello, team. It is Tuesday, August 6th. We are closing in on the first week of August's completion. So in our stats now, we have our Sparkle boxes. So take a look at what that does for your numbers, what that has done for your rich rewards. And of course, the first 2 weeks of the month is always when we get to earn our $250 in bonus jewelry. So if you put in your $1,000 by tomorrow, then obviously you get to pick your rich rewards faster than if you wait till next week. So if you have sales open, I would encourage you to close them, get the customer their pieces, and get your rich rewards ordered. Before we start the official agenda, I feel like a lot of people have done now their kickoff party, some personal appointments, some normal shows. So shout out to us. What are some of the favorites that you're finding that people are loving? I know a lot of you are on mute, so I got to give it a second.
The Honest Necklace, 100%.
Agreed. If you're not sure, this is the Honest Necklace. Oh, it's a little dangled up. Hold on. All right, while I untangle it, somebody else answer.
The Buzz bracelet.
Buzz?
Yes. I don't know why, but everybody's loving the Buzz bracelet for me.
Okay, now that's been out for a while, so that's great that you reintroduced it.
Yes.
The Hunter earring,
which Jen is wearing right now. Jennifer Ewert is wearing those right now. Super light and definitely a neutral, so that's great. Okay, and my Honest Necklace wasn't actually that tangled. I just picked it up on. This is the Honest Necklace. Any other must-haves?
I've had a lot of people like the lacy cuff.
The lacy, okay. That is
Me
this
too.
one.
Yes. It's very light. I love it. Yes.
This is the lacy bracelet. These are pearls, by the way.
Can
Also
you tell
the cream
me
bracelet, too.
What does the material feel like on the lacy? Because I don't have it.
Metal.
Is it stiff or
Stiff.
movable?
It's movable stiff.
You know,
Like flare?
like you can't stretch it out. Like
Okay.
it's not
You
like,
can,
like
I mean, you can
well,
open
you can
it a
stretch it
little.
out, but it doesn't like stay. It's not like the Stella or like some of them you can pull out. It's not like, and it's wide.
Okay.
Anybody else want to shout out a name for us?
I love the Coalesce bracelet. Like Wonder Woman. I actually did that in a Facebook Live. Held it up like Wonder Woman.
Okay, cool. And it was well received?
Yeah, lots of comments on that.
Speaking of cuffs, I did sell several of these at my last show. The price point on this is crazy. It's only $34, this one. It's called Galactic, for obvious reasons. And this seems to be a hit as well. It's funny, we don't really have any other pieces that are $34, so somebody took it as a half price item, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know that one. So that was cool. All
Another
right.
one, the myrtle, that myrtle necklace with the owl
Yes.
earrings, especially because of that monthly special Avery earrings right now. It's been a really good thing to pair.
Okay, so this is the myrtle necklace. This is an abalone shell, genuine abalone shell. When you talk about abalone, definitely talk about that. It's like a chameleon. It picks up the colors around it or behind it. So depending on what you put it with. And then, yes, these customer special earrings, it's like, you know, almost like a set. So, yes, I have sold the earrings to pretty much everybody that bought this necklace.
The earrings that you have on, Michelle, too, those have been a personal favorite of mine. I've been wearing them a lot. They're just real cute, neutral, everyday.
And I don't even know what they're called.
Me neither, actually.
They're called Savannah. And, yeah, and they're so light. Yes, Savannah.
Oh, Savannah.
Savannah, okay. I like them because since they're pretty much plastic, I can wear them in the pool. And I don't necessarily go like under on purpose, but when I'm just in the pool, my kids think it's funny to do cannonballs and stuff, so they definitely get wet. And nothing bad happens.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you for all of those ideas, because I know a lot of us are continuing, you know, this is that stage where you're constantly trying to decide what you want to get, what you want to add. What I recommend doing, just for your own ease, is to make one big master list of everything that you would ultimately like to add to your kit, along with the price next to it. So last night, Mary Grace did her leader webinar, and I won $250 worth of jewelry. All I had to do was flip open my list. I take out my calculator and I write 250. I type 250. I pick a piece, I just hit minus whatever. So I do like basically 3 in a row, and then I had $38 left, and I just scanned the list for something that was $38. Boom, I used 250 on the dot. And I just put a dot next to each one as I pick it. The next time I did a check mark, the next time I'll do a star. Because there's also things I want to put in my kit that aren't necessarily new for this season, right? I wanted to put the sparkling earrings back in my kit because they went on a pretty lengthy break. And people love those. They look real, and, you know your clientele. I knew I had some high-end people coming up that have the real ones, and they would rather take the Park Lane ones on vacation, just like a Josie ring on vacation. So sure enough, a whole bunch of people had bought those because I put those back in my kit. At the end of my season clearance there, I must have sold every pair of Whisper earrings in the whole entire office. And I went to 2 shows in a row now with no Whisper earrings. Thank God my hostess had them on Friday, because pretty much everybody bought them. But, so obviously when you're doing your Rich Rewards, you're not only doing new line pieces, you're still adding, because as you see, when you put something new in your kit, it's new to you. If you've never shown the Buzz bracelet before, like was that Mary that was sharing that? And then all of a sudden your customers think it's new because they've never seen it, and it doesn't look the same as the catalog in their opinion, and then there's something new. And that'll happen a lot. I told you guys this story before, but I remember a good 3 to 4 years into my business, somebody picked up my rose gold chic necklace and goes, "Ooh, this is new." It had been in my kit since the day I joined. It came in my kit, and I brought it to every single party. But she never noticed it, so it was new to her. So of course I smiled and nodded and said, "Isn't that gorgeous?" Because what am I going to argue with her? Make her feel stupid, Be like, "What are you, a moron? I've had that in there for years." So whatever's new to people's eye is new. It could be old, new, or anywhere in between. So let's talk about the part 3 of your party. Last week we talked about, because your party, our shows need to have 6 distinct parts. I mean, they of course flow and some of them intertwine. But last week we talked about the meet and greet, and we talked about the show opening. So I hope that you have re-examined those parts of your show. And if it needed some improvement or tweaking, I hope that you have worked on and practiced that, because honestly, that's the only way to make a change to your show, is to really sit down and kind of rewrite it and practice it. The longer you've been in the business, the harder it is to make these changes, because the more times you've said it, and then when you start in with your show, you go on autopilot, which many times is to your benefit, like when there's little kids running around screaming and somehow you can manage to say all of your show stuff because you're on autopilot. That's the good times. But the bad time to go on autopilot is when you were trying to say something different and you kind of can't do it. So that's where the newer you are, the more of an advantage you're at, because the easier it is for you to make these improvements or to just start it the right way to begin with. So when we get to part 3 of the show, that's the actual show presentation where we are now full blown selling the jewelry and at the same time dropping your booking seeds, dropping your recruiting seeds, and marketing the sale. All of that is like the meat, the whole middle section of the show. And of course, you start some of that, right, during the meet and greet because we're putting jewelry on people. We've talked a little bit maybe with them about what something's called, or if you've put a mixed metal piece on someone and they're like, oh, that's gold and silver. Maybe you did give that person a little tip about mixed metals. Maybe you put something on someone that's not their normal style and you gave them a little bit of a tip about why they can wear something different than they're totally comfortable with. All of these things can kind of be part of the meet and greet as well, but this is like your main section of it. So this part of the show does need to be short, it needs to be simple, but it needs to be very enthusiastic and solid because of the fact that it's short. We're trying to pack a punch here in a limited amount of time. And here's the thing, the bigger your show, meaning the more people that are at the show, the shorter it has to be. And I know that sounds weird because it's like, wait, there's so many people. I want to show them a lot and get them. You don't have time and you will run out of time to take orders and people leave without ordering if the show goes too long. So when you know there's a lot of people coming, do make a better effort to get there early and be set up because a big party, often they are there on time, or at least a lot of them are. You want to start as close to the start time as possible, which we talked a little bit about last week with respecting people's time. And then you have to bang it out because with a bigger group too, there's always a few more antsy Nancy's that are like, can I go first? Can I gotta go? Can you do me first? This is exactly what happened to me last Friday. I had 20 at least of the pushiest humans placed on the earth at my show last week. And they were like standing on top of me. I was almost having an anxiety attack trying to even start the show because some of them wouldn't even sit down. So now I'm trying to do the show and people are standing, no joke, like a foot away from me. And if you know me even a little, you know that this is like an issue for me. I do not like people on my cornea when I'm trying to do things. So I just kept backing up and finally ended up in this tiny corner that allowed me to look into the direction of at least most people could see me, which is not where I really wanted to stand, but so be it. But I was done. I started the show demo at like 7:30ish, and then including the whole 6 parts of the show, the ticket game, everything. I was getting my bag out, getting my calculator phone out, and sitting down. I was doing orders at 8:06. I've never done orders at 8:06 in New York unless the show started at like 6, technically 6:30, because things had just moved slow in the beginning, and then all of a sudden they move fast. So I couldn't believe that I was started orders at 8:06, but I was still doing orders at 10 o'clock. So that's why. So anyway, you want to kind of assess that. When your group is smaller, you actually will show more jewelry and take more time. But we do need to be entertaining in doing so. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a stand-up comedian, but lively voice, information that they will find helpful in their everyday wearing of jewelry, all those tips, that falls in the category of entertaining. Entertaining does not mean stand-up comedian. It can, but it definitely doesn't have to. If you are sharing valuable information that people will find helpful moving forward, that qualifies as entertaining as well. So please know that. Always remember too, and Mary Grace says this to us all the time, facts tell, stories sell, right? Facts tell, stories sell. So that means that we're not just holding something up and saying, you're not just going to hold up a necklace and say, this is the Pebbles necklace, it's silver and gold. Okay? they can see that it's silver and gold. So really anything that people can see with their eyes immediately is really not necessary to be said. Now, if there's a feature to the necklace, or you want to point, you've been talking about mixed metals and you want to just reiterate that this is a great example of mixed metals, of course that's fine. But to continually hold up pieces and say this is gold, this is silver, people are like, got it, I have eyes. So facts tell, stories sell. I brought this necklace out and put it on a guest recently at a show, and she was like, oh, that's kind of a lot. I don't normally wear necklaces like that. And I was like, really? Because there was really no reason for this woman to not wear this necklace. And kind of she ended up blurting out that she felt like she was too fat to wear it, which number one was very sad to me, and number two was just wrong. It was going to be slimming and look awesome. So I said, let me just put it on, because actually long necklaces are a slimming tactic. It makes you look a little taller, a little slimmer, and it breaks up your front, which seems to be what you're concerned about. So I put it on this guest, and the whole rest of the guests, this was actually a workplace show, so this was all these girls' lunch hour at an optometrist, and all the other girls in the office said, oh, you have to get that. That looks amazing. This woman's face lit up like a Christmas tree. I showed her in the mirror what she looked like, and she said, oh my gosh, I am going to get that. And she did. And don't you know, she came to a show again recently, and I said, oh my gosh, I remember you got the long necklace that was not comfortable for you at first. She said, and I still wear it all the time. So if you love a mixed metal look, you like to do a nice layer, want to get that benefit of having that longer, leaner look, then give this Pebbles necklace a try. Okay, that's a storytelling. Now, I edited it a little bit because the necklace she really bought is no longer available. What she really bought was Glam and Go, but very similar to this, just not as sparkly. So, and she really did resurface at a party 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, I remember you, the Glam and Go that you weren't going to get. And she laughed. And she said, oh my gosh, how do you remember that? Because stories like that you remember, whether you're the person experiencing it or whether you're the person telling it and hearing it from someone else. So this is where storytelling comes in many, many forms and can include your booking seats. So let's talk about, for example, value, right? We want to do as much benefit selling as we can over the course of a show. And if that is a new term to you, remember that benefit selling is letting people know how this piece will benefit their life. It's not telling them what it is, it's telling them what it will do for them. So we're going to bring out a trusty older favorite here. The Imagine necklace. So the Imagine necklace, how beautiful is this piece? Now, if you're wondering if it's blue or black, it's like that blackish blue hematite. This is a piece that is going to look gorgeous, enhancing really any outfit that you have. But because it's so glittery, you can wear it the black on black, but this will really help you accessorize a print. Did you ever try to accessorize a print top or dress that you have, and you end up with the necklace fighting the prints, and then you end up taking it off and you don't even wear a necklace? Well, the Imagine necklace, because it just provides such a beautiful layer of glitter, it just really enhances the print that you have on. Now, this piece, you can wear it as shown here. However, these two are magnets. So if I ever want to wear just a shorter necklace, then all you do is reconnect that, and we have a shorter necklace here. So you can also use the matching bracelet, and of course you can wear it as a bracelet, and how simple to put it on. But at the same time, you might want a medium length necklace at some point, and you can do that by attaching this instead. You can, of course, wear the other part as a shorter necklace. Now, I recommend doing this on a guest, not yourself, unless you're doing this as a Facebook party. but you can twist it, you can wear it shorter, you can attach the shorter one to here. I loved actually showing this at my show last week. I was doing a luncheon with a group of retirees, and they were commenting on how nice it was to not have to worry about a clip, because, you know, if you have like arthritic fingers and things like that, but it's not just arthritis fingers that enjoy this. How about just long nails, and you don't want to have to deal with the fiddling with something? So these are so nice and easy to put on and off. And then another guest mentioned that she always brings this set on vacation, because how annoying, right, to pack 20,000 jewelry pieces on vacation. You bring this on vacation, then you have a short necklace, a long necklace, several versions, depending on how you put it together, the bracelet. So lots of great uses for this. And you can really do justice with your sale as well, because if you were to take your 2 low price items, then take the bracelet as one of your half price items, I think you're getting that for in the 30s. And then how smart would it be to take the $138 necklace as your bonus item, and you're getting that for $25. So fabulous enhancement to your jewelry wardrobe. Now, I did a lot of different things in there, right? Because not only was I selling the necklace, but I talked about doing a show with retirees in the middle of the day. Always talk about luncheons, okay? Because that's how you get your workplace people. That's how you get women who just don't work. That's how you get the stay-at-home moms. Like moms of little ones, they don't necessarily respond to luncheon as much as they do to like a drop and shop, which is, and you want, now that school is starting back up, you want to find yourself some of those moms now, because you can ride the entire school year if you get a couple of moms in the start of the school year, which is the best time to have them, because the kids go back to school and the moms have this newfound freedom. And they want to talk about the teachers, they want to talk about the summer, they want to catch up with their friends, and your jewelry party would be the best place to do it. So if you currently are available to do those types of shows and aren't booking them, then those words you want to start saying at your shows, because the only reason you're not booking them is because you're not talking about them. Those women are out there, and we just have to find them. And once you find them, you stay in there. You do whatever you have to do. You do a booking gift at every show from now till Kingdom Come. I will seriously hang on to these women like a barnacle on a whale. It's like, listen, you're not leaving until someone's booking a show, because you want that chain of business to continue. That's true of any chain of business, of course, but it's extra true for me with those day shows, because gosh, if I don't love a day party. So value also is in multiple use pieces, like an Honest necklace, right? Donna just talked about this being one of her best-selling new pieces. And of course, why wouldn't it be? You're getting 3 distinct necklaces in one purchase. I mean, this piece here is a thinner version of the older necklace we used to have called Connections. That was like an $80 necklace. You're getting all 3 for $50 in this case, and which is actually a $25 half price item, which is why they're selling so crazy, because people are like, I can get that for $25? So you can wear this piece alone, looks really beautiful, even with a suit, and then you just have your white button down under here to have this piece here just by itself. And that layered look is, of course, so on trend right now. So, and it's a softer rose gold as well, which blends easily with regular gold. So one of the things to keep in mind as you are benefit selling as well is to be careful not to use the same descriptive words over and over again, right? Not every piece can be your favorite. Not every piece is, this piece is so awesome. This piece is my favorite. This piece is just gorgeous. You can't say just gorgeous. Again, when you use like typical words like that, again, that's the word they already thought of in your head, in their own head. So they don't need to be told it's gorgeous. They need to be told that it, you know, is the trendy look of today. They need to be told that it swings beautifully when you turn your head. Things like that, because that's a lot more informative. So if you've never seen this before, I just want to show you my favorite website to help you with this. It is called Words to Use Jewelry, and then put in jewelry. Okay, and that, I swear I never remember this website. I always put in that into the search bar, and here it comes right up. Jewelry words to use. And this is the adjective section. Okay, so the sparkling earrings, speaking of those, are expensive looking. So if you have the real ones, bring the fake Park Lane ones on vacation with you. If you don't, everyone will think you have the real ones anyway. The coordinating, I talk about the coordinating instead of the matching all the time, because that matchy match look is definitely a little passe for certain groups of people. So I would much rather talk about the coordinating earrings to the confetti so that it's not so matchy match. I definitely use coordinating. Trend setting. You can, wardrobe friendly, okay? The Imagine necklace, definitely wardrobe friendly. Even things like when it comes to the craftsmanship, right? The chalice necklace is hand hammered mixed metal discs. Doesn't that sound so much nicer than this gold necklace with all these circles? Hand hammered mixed metal discs. Because I don't know if you know that, but the chalice necklace, some of these are silver. Pebbles would fall into that same category. So do you see how there are so many choices of just straight up adjectives? But you know what is even more helpful almost is this. When you click it and change it to phrases. These phrases are a gold mine. The accents add eye-catching sparkle. Eye-catching sparkle, that is such a nice phrase. Simple sophistication or simple style. I think it's always great when you can tell them when it's comfortable. You know, people look at that Blondie necklace on a neck and think that it's probably 900 pounds. And it's really not. It's not heavy, and it also lays so flat and nice. So that's a great one to let people know that this gives you super glam look, but with a comfortable fit. Because people are like, wow, that's a comfortable necklace? Let me try that. If you just say it's a big, bold necklace, they saw that with their eyes, they decided it was heavy, they're not even touching it. So these are the things that really make a big impact when you're doing your sales pitches on some of these items. Can go from the office to after hours with ease or with polish, with style. So anything where you're getting, you know, I'd say that with the cha-cha earrings. I'll say, listen, if the fringe is a little much for your job, I know the love knots aren't. So remove the tassel, wear just the buttons to work. And then after work, when you're going out for cocktails or you're going out to dinner, then clip the fringe back on. And they're like, what? You can do that? So this is the type of stuff, you know, to let people know by using phrases like, you know, go from, as Valerie Weaver says, desk to dinner, for example. So that I find the adjectives and the phrases super helpful when it comes to that particular website. And again, just put in the search bar, words to use, jewelry. And then actually, if ever you ever need any other descriptors, just put a different word at the ends, because that website has lots of words to use for everything. So, rule of thumb, again, never just describe what they can see. So that's what we're trying to move on from. So benefit selling, again, what will it do for you? So definitely take the time to talk about bracelets. What?
Can I use your card for the gym?
Yeah, as long as Teresa is on board with it.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, okay. Love summer. Bracelets, that they can be very difficult for people, right? Because a bangle doesn't fit everyone, but yet everyone loves a bangle. So talk about, I don't have Dominique bracelets anymore because I came back from convention and completely forgot that I sold them all in my end of season clearance. So now I'm doing shows with no Dominique bracelets until I get back to replacing them. But regular bangle bracelet, if you want the ease of a bangle without worrying if you can get it on or worrying if you can keep it on, then you definitely want to get some of our open and closed bangles. The jewel bracelets do that for you. You have a designer inspired look, 3 different metal choices, open, and you're bypassing the voluptuous hand situation, but closed, the circumference of these is much smaller than, say, the blurred lines, which is really the same as the Dominiques. So I typically will hold the 2 up and show people how much smaller the circumference is from the jewel to the Dominique for those small hands people. But then the larger hands people, no problem. It's going right over and it's closing. If you want the look of a bangle, or you just want to put bracelets on and not have to do anything, I don't want to do a clip, remember, anything where you're going to have to do stuff, then you just want an open top bangle. Look at the detail on this new Brooklyn bracelet. It has that designer-inspired David Yurman look, all your pave crystals, and then to put it on, it's just on. You can wear a whole stack of these. This one is super lightweight, so when it touches the other ones, it doesn't make any noise. So if you want to stack these with the other 2 colors or with other bracelets you have, it's a way to do a nice, quiet arm party. Right? Because if you don't want to be the jingle jangle lady in the office, or there's somebody in the office that that drives you crazy, then that's a much quieter one. Of course, you can never go wrong with a stretchy bracelet. So we have so many of those. The Serena, one of the most popular that we have, you get the bar crystals, you get the nuggets, you get 3 different color choices. And then, of course, you can show them a Lovey bracelet, how that's your watch companion, matches everybody's watch. We have lots of different stretchies that are amazing. If you want it all silver, get a Mars. So I do a lot of passing around when it comes to the bracelets. When you're talking mixed metal, the Frenchie is a great one to show. And plus, that's an open closed bangle as well. That newer one that's mixed metal, I just got it yesterday and I don't even have it out yet. But there's a new mixed metal one that's really nice. So all the time you're painting a picture. Now, you know how before when I said, I was with a group of retirees for a luncheon and even sturdy jewelry, like for the stay-at-home moms, right? They like to have like a mantra bracelet. That's going to be a very popular group for moms with little ones, because if the kids pull it, it's not breaking the way that maybe something like the cream bracelets are going to be. This is a stretchy elastic. That gets pulled hard enough, it's a bead explosion. Whereas, so you want to show them things that are sturdier. And when you just mention, I did a fundraiser recently for my hostess's church, and I actually wrote her a check for $500. At her show, so many of the women chose the new Valley necklace. Just such a great throw and go piece. You can never go wrong with a piece that is also silver and gold. So you have your mixed metals here, matches everything. You can put this on top of a solid blouse, a dress, wearing it with a cardigan with your solid tank underneath, and whatever other jewelry you're wearing automatically matches. So it's really great for the busy woman on the go. So not only did we sell the necklace, but I reminded them that I do fundraisers, and that good fundraisers with a normal show, I wrote them a check for $500. That's a lot of money for a little jewelry event. People put together fundraisers that they work so hard for and pass out flyers so everybody will come to Chipotle and and then get $220 or more, or they had an expense to host it. So many fundraisers cost money to put on, and you have to make back the money on the fundraiser, then you see a profit. And this was like in her house. It was a normal party, but she did it as a fundraiser instead. All of the little stories you tell fall into this. So you know how I always do that ridiculous joke about wearing a statement necklace every day, right? So just change up the necklace, because you can do it with the Blondie necklace, but if like your whole customer base already has a Blondie necklace, you have to move on. So I'm finding that the Blondie necklace doesn't really sell with me much anymore, and I think it's because I sold it to everybody. So I'm going to start doing that grocery store joke about the hot mess necklace maybe. Or you can certainly even tone it down to do something like the macaroon, even though you really don't need, this is such a normal piece in my opinion, but some people feel like this is a lot, So you can just give that tip of, listen, do not wait for your cousin's wedding and these other fancy functions to bust out your statement necklace. Statement necklaces light up your face. They make you more memorable. You should be wearing those to every time you go on a job interview, give a presentation at work. Just want to feel powerful. And if you want to wear it on an everyday basis because you know it's gorgeous and you hate to have it sitting in your drawer, but you feel concerned that wearing it is just a lot on an everyday basis, all you need is a denim jacket, or even one of those kimonos that are so popular. I did that on a guest on Friday night. She had a white tank top on and then one of those white floral kimonos. And I said, is that what those are called, right? The kimonos? I put the Blondie on her, and then we moved, the kimono came up to here. And the whole room gasped. They said, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. I said, see, now she can go to Stop and Shop and just walk around that store looking amazing, because it's not too much, but she's going to have her head high, right? She knows she looks good. She's not letting the door slam behind her on the person following her, because she's not in her yoga pants and a sweatshirt and looking like she just left the clinic for the flu, right? She knows she looks good, and everyone around her is happier because of it. So keep these types of things in mind. When you're at the doctor's office and you see a beautiful woman come in, usually the only difference between her and you, she might have started with the same jeans and t-shirt, or even yoga pants and a tank top. But then the next step is the difference maker. Do you do a necklace and a khaki or a denim jacket, or did you do a sweatshirt and no necklace? That's the difference between feeling cute, smiling, holding your head high, walking around, and sitting like this. So instead of admiring the lady in the doctor's office, be her. That's the final step, is the only difference. And people can relate to all of those types of things because they know they've done that. And listen, we all do it sometimes. When you really are sick, yeah, you do throw the sweatshirt on. But I'll tell you what, the day that I had that Mohs surgery on my head, I had to have like a little tumor taken off of my scalp. And I wore my Samba necklace that day, and I was crying. It was so much painful. I had no idea that the waiting period in between each round of the surgery takes place in the waiting room. I thought you got to sit in the chair and wait. So now I have a big, gauze on my head. My hair is all over the place. I look like I just escaped a methadone clinic. And I was sitting in the waiting room, crying all by myself, like whimpering in the corner. And the lady at the desk is like, wow, that's a really nice necklace. And I was like, thank you. I have a catalog. Because I still manage with all of that to be wearing a necklace. And sure enough, I think those girls placed an order, but I don't remember what was the end result of that. But, I still made a little bit of an effort that day, and even crying and looking like a crazy person, I still managed to be okay. Remember, you want to assure your guests that you're going to help them shop like a friend. That is another very important thing I think they need to know. Ladies, tonight I'm going to help you shop like a friend. And do you know what that means, right? When you know how your friend is like, did you bring your coupon? Let's look at what's on clearance. Let's get the best deal. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not trying to take all of your money. I want to look at your wish list and help you maximize our Park Lane sale so that I can get you the most amount of jewelry that fits best into the budget you came here with tonight. That makes people feel really comfortable and makes them want to fill up a wish list, because that's what I tell them is the reason why I need the wish list. Put everything you want on this wish list. That's why it's called that. This isn't your order form. What we're going to do is use this wish list as the scrap paper that will decide what is going on your order form. And I can really help you maximize the sale and get as much as you can when I know everything that you want and can really help finagle everything for you. Because big wish lists result in good sales. They result in more bookings because, right, what about that wish list that has 22 pieces on it? She gets maybe anywhere from 3 to 7 of them. Of course, that is ripe for the asking. Oh my gosh, Susie, I would love to help you get the rest of this list. In fact, I see that you have the Pebbles necklace on here. I see that you have the, did you know that you could get this Impressions bracelet for $25 and you'd still have free credit to shop with? Just for getting like 3 to 5 friends together. And you know what? To sweeten the deal, I see you have the Honest necklace on here. You could take that one home tonight. Wear it home right now. That's why I like to see the big list too, because I would much rather she walks out of there with my Honest necklace on her neck, wear it to work on Monday. Girls are going to say, oh my gosh, I love that necklace. Where did you get it? And then I tell them, like, you got to give them the words, right? I know, I went to the best jewelry party on Friday night. The girl was so much fun. The jewelry was amazing. So I'm actually having her come to my house on the 17th. I would love for you to come. I tell all my hostesses to say that. And they tell me it works. They said, oh my gosh, I did. I wore this necklace so many times. And that's why like 4 people are here. Awesome. Awesome. I can replace that Honest necklace in a hot minute if I have to, or I can do without it. But whatever it takes, I want those people out there booked in my calendar and getting people to the next show. So these types of things are helpful. Let people know what is the most popular hostess piece. When you show those Impressions bracelets, you're going to tell them, oh my, I am so excited for my hostesses now. Hostesses can take a piece as high as $200 for $25 straight out of the gate. We didn't even use credit yet, and you're saving $200. If you qualified for the doubles in August, how great that you get to say, I get to save my August hostesses close to $400 before we even use any credit, because you're getting 2 $200 pieces for $25 each before we even decide what you're using in your credit. So these are all phrases that, again, help you get the bookings while at the same time creating the desire for the jewelry. Make sure you're saying things like, I want to help you maximize your bonus item. You know, because sometimes people will say, oh, all right, so then I'll take, and then they'll name like a $70 piece, right? Okay, I'll take a mantra bracelet for my bonus item. I'm like, all right, you know, you can, but honestly, that piece at half price is only 30 something to begin with. If you'd like, you can have that. But you might want to take that as a half price item and get something like even bigger and better for your bonus item. You know, I saw you liked the olive necklace that I put on you. That's $186. So that's saving you $150 if you take it as a bonus item. And they're like, oh, okay. Sometimes they'll say, forget the bracelet. Sometimes they're like, yeah, do that. Give me that necklace and still, yeah, throw the bracelet on there. That's fine. Now you added $30-something net to the order, plus she got a big honking bonus item that she's going to go tell people was almost $200. She got it for $25. So these real life stories, situations, they all get you bookings. And the sprinkling of the storytelling about the types of shows is so much more effective than just saying, I can come to your office, I can come to your house, I can come to a bar, you can come to a Sip and Style. You know, when you just laundry list them like that, they tune you out because it sounds like a laundry list and that's no fun. But when you tell the story about, I did the show for the moms after they dropped the kids at school. They're like, oh, I dropped my kids at school, you know, and I'll tell them, your husband doesn't even know you had a party. He wasn't even home. He doesn't know anything about it. And there are, unfortunately, a lot of women out there who don't host parties because their husband's home at night and he doesn't want to deal with people in the house. So have the party when he's not even home. They won't even know anything about it. So, of course, most of them tell them, but they don't care because they're not home anyway. And of course, with those types of shows, people bring their little ones, you know, because if you have school-age kids and you're a stay-at-home mom, chances are that's because you still have a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old. So that can be a little rougher. Make sure they have a high enough table so that they're not just grabbing everything off the coffee table, and you'll be fine. All those different, you know, when I did a showing at, and then, you know, when I was with my retirees, I have this group of ladies, they've even incorporated me into their mahjong game. Do you guys have that, old ladies that play mahjong? It's like kind of a Jewish thing here, but I don't know, you know, how it is in the rest of the country, but it's this weird like card and dice game. It's like, you know, clock 4 hit, I don't know what it's this funny thing, but large groups of retiree and stay-at-home women play this game. And once you're knocked out, then they need something to do. They go eat sushi, they have their lunch, and then they came over to the jewelry table. So if I talk about that, then I can have somebody say, oh, I could have her come to mahjong. You know, I really should have talked about that at my show the other day. Okay, so, you know, always too, when you want them to agree, nod when you are saying it, right? So, you know, I'm sure your friends would enjoy this as well, you know, or isn't this such a great use of your bonus item? Because then people start nodding with you. That's just a kind of a fun strategy and a little bit of a social experiment that I find interesting. But so, all right. Any thoughts, questions, or additions for the various tips and things that I threw out to you here? Or any that you would like to use, or anything that was helpful to you today?
I know that the storytelling is so important, and I know that I tell stories, but I'm sitting here trying to like think about like what I say. And like you said, like when you get into the habit, it just becomes a part of who you are and you just kind of vomit it out. But just thinking that I need to sit with my new trays of jewelry, and I really need to kind of take inventory of like, okay, what can I say about this piece? Whether it is the words that you know, from the website, or stories even. Okay, what are some, jog my memory about some stories about these pieces, and then actively, you know, write them down so that it does commit to memory, and all of that, just so that it's fresh for the new season with the new pieces, and kind of recycling through some other things.
Yeah, I mean, really, sometimes you're just subbing something for that was discontinued, because for those of you that have seen your show more times than you've seen my show more times than you care to count, probably what I said about this was quite reminiscent of what I would say about the unicorn necklace. We don't have, well, I mean, we still technically have it, but it's not in the book. I'm not showing it anymore. But the speech I gave about using the glitter to enhance a print and all that, that's what I used to say about the black unicorn necklace. Well, I still believe we need something to enhance a print. This is the next best one, or maybe even better because of its multi-use. So I just kind of transferred my black unicorn story into my Imagine story.
Right.
So, another one that's great, especially now that we have so much more hematite, you know, a big one is metal color story, right? In the 80s, it was all gold all the time. Then 1990 came and we wore silver, platinum, and white gold for 20 years. And then, you know, here came Michael Kors inventing rose gold, when meanwhile it was really part of tricolor gold from the 80s. Then hematite became its own thing. So how do you enjoy all of the jewelry you've built up over the years if you don't do mixed metal? Right? So if you need help in doing your mixed metal, then do yourself a favor and get yourself a piece that does it for you so that you only have to extend the look. So if you don't like putting on silver and gold of your own, then put on the Pebbles necklace, which is silver and gold. Now you just do the bracelets. You pick if you want silver or gold earrings, and now you're pulling off a mixed metal look. But if you still are hanging on to wearing that 90s silver, and there's a lot of you out there, because they laughed, they know who they are, where I'm like, you still wearing silver every day, aren't you? Then do yourself a favor and update your look by just incorporating a little hematite. So if you have an everyday silver cross, or whatever your everyday short necklace is silver, frame it with the magic necklace. It gives you an updated look by doing the hematite, but it blends beautifully with the silver. So show them some hematite, show them a hematite bracelet and how it blends. You know, somebody's there wearing all silver bracelets. There's always somebody. Put a hematite bracelet on there with it, and they're like, ooh, that does look cool. So, but if you have a nice age range of women in the room, they really appreciate that whole 80s, 90s, and today. And how, yes, I should do mixed metals so that I can start pulling pieces out that I liked perfectly well from 1987, you know, my expensive whatever, and I don't even wear it. So that helps people a lot and teaches them why we're not doing it and how we can. Any other thoughts or comments?
I have a question. Do you have like 3 different shows, since you have repeat customers and repeat hostesses? Do you have like a couple different shows to try? I mean, you know, to make it different?
No, I don't. I tell a lot of the same jokes and have for years, and I don't know, people must forget them or still enjoy them or what, because some of the jokes that I tell are a version of things I told at Pampered Chef parties in 2002 and somehow managed to still tell them. So believe it or not, people do not get sick of stuff because they forget. Sometimes I'll tell, you know, the same fashion tip or story or whatever, and they'll say, oh, I forgot about that. I'm glad you just reminded me of that. Now, do I still show the same pieces and tell these same jokes at every single show? No. So if I know I'm with groupies and I know perfectly well they've seen that same, because sometimes you'll get in with a new group at the start of a catalog and 6 months later you're going strong with them, then I might dig into some stuff that is still available but not in the catalog and will be new to them because what's old is new. I might do a little of that, but for the most part, it's kind of the same. But remember, I'm not going to necessarily have someone model olive at every single show, because if somebody doesn't come in wearing something that it looks good with, it's probably not making it into the fashion show. So at the next show, though, they might, and they'll say, oh, I didn't see this one. And it's just because it never made it out of the tray. So it'll feel different every time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else want to add anything, a question, a thought? All right, well, once again, anything that you heard here that you know you want to start incorporating while it's fresh in your mind, go do it. Make some notes. Put a note card near the jewelry now so that when you go to do your next show, that little note will be there and you'll remember to do it. Because without practice, you're going to go to your next show and say the exact same stuff. So it takes practice. So have a great rest of the day, everybody. Hope this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye.
Thanks, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Thanks.